In this episode, we were shown how the main character saw the dream of his shadow clone, which the clone had shortly before disappearing. In this dream, we can observe how Naruto would behave if he were in the clone's place. Of course, everything happening here is exaggerated, as is usually the case in dreams. In the end, the clones even killed their creator. Although, of course, Naruto's character would never allow him to do such a thing if he were in the clone's place. This is confirmed by the fact that as soon as the clone woke up, he ran to shield the original with his own body from an unexpected threat. It's a bit like when one friend says to another, "I'll kill you right now." But at the same time, it's clear that no one actually intends to kill anyone. It's just emotions, nothing more. In this episode, which at first glance seems like a joke and completely unserious, a fascinating topic of the shinobi world is touched upon. What exactly are clones? Who are all these guys? How do they perceive themselves, and are they even self-aware? As is well known, the shadow clone technique is classified as an A rank jutsu at the Jonin level. But if it were up to me, I would give it a C rank. After all, unlike most techniques, it's not only extremely versatile in battle and training, but also useful in everyday life. That's why you can only see Naruto's room truly in a mess in the post-credit scenes. But this episode doesn't try to delve into the usefulness of cloning. Here, the plot focuses on explaining who the heck they even are. And since it's not possible to answer that right away, allow me to first ask you a leading question. Can shadow clones, or water clones, wood clones, or any other kind work while the original is asleep? Of course not. If that were possible, it would be a real cheat for effortless training for anyone who can use shadow clones. In other words, the will of the clones directly depends on the will of the original. If the main character is too lazy to train, then the clones definitely won't do it for him. Naturally, they're not living beings. There's no other world from which Naruto summons them. They're more like robots, programmed to perceive themselves as if they are the original who has become a clone. I hope I explained that clearly. You've probably noticed that clones always refer to themselves in the third person. A clone will never tell another character that it is a clone. Instead, you'll hear the phrase, "That's his clone." All decisions, all ideas, jokes, and even dreams reflect the character and behavior of their creator. And this entire dream tells us that Naruto, consciously or perhaps not entirely consciously, once wondered what it would feel like to be in the place of his clones. At the same time, as we can see from Naruto's own reaction, he is fully aware that these are just his fantasies. He understands that the clones are angry with him not because they are living beings, but because that's exactly how he himself would react if he were in their place. It's like arguing with yourself. I would love to see an episode showing how Naruto talked with his shadow clones at home the day after the fight with Mizuki. It probably wasn't easy to get used to such a technique. If you think about it, it's actually pretty creepy. Scientists have long noticed that when two people who look very much alike meet each other, it causes them intense, uncontrollable anxiety, unease, or even panic. Twins, of course, don't count since they're used to having an almost exact copy of themselves from birth. Now imagine how a character who has just learned the cloning technique must feel in those first days. This isn't just someone who looks like you or a twin brother. This is a clone who has your personality, your thoughts, and your facial features. It really is scary, at first. By the way, in this episode, they actually give a direct answer to another question. How did Naruto come up with the idea to invent this sexy jutsu? And the sad clone from the dream explains to us that it was so lonely. He wanted to get attention by any means possible. Yes, it's pretty obvious, but if you've never thought about it before, now you know. Maybe that's why Naruto couldn't learn the clone jutsu for so long. Ordinary clones were shown very rarely, but as I understand it, even though they're just illusions, their personalities are exactly the same as the originals. Where am I going with this? The point is, Naruto didn't want to be alone with himself so much that even after he more or less learned to control his chakra, he mastered the replacement jutsu and the transformation jutsu, but not the clone jutsu. He wanted to make real friends, not play soccer with his own copies.